Okay, so in 2003, I played this web browser MMO called Adventure Quest. It's this silly little 2D role-playing game, but I played it a lot and liked it a lot. It was an MMO in quotation marks, but it really was just a single-player web browser game. And my character's name in that game was Link. Link from Legend of Zelda, obviously. A year later, all the kids at school were playing this new hot game called RuneScape. I was like, oh, I might download this and give it a shot. Well, not download, you just go in a web browser and play it. That's what made it so bloody popular back in the day. So I get to the account creation screen and I put in Link, and no, it doesn't work. Apparently it's an actual multiplayer game, and with actual multiplayer games, multiple people can't have the same username for whatever reason. And so, I'm pretty stumped. I have no idea what the hell I'm going to call myself. And then 7-year-old me is sitting there thinking. And the first thing which comes to my mind, and I remember this quite vividly, is Boomerang. Boomerang was this TV channel that we had in England, which basically allowed you to watch old cartoons like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry, and I liked that channel quite a lot. And for whatever reason, I took the Rang out of Boomerang and went, you know, that's a pretty good username. And so I put in Rang as my username. Oh, it doesn't work. Apparently someone else is called Rang. Okay. What about Rang 97? 97 being the year of my birth. Okay. Yeah, it works. And so my first proper online username for quite a while was just Rang 97. And I used that from 2004 to roughly 2008. As in 2008, I found another multiplayer MMO, because I was really into MMOs as a child. I was probably talking to a lot of people I shouldn't have. Anyway, yeah, there was this other game called Endless Online. It was this 3D isometric, completely free MMO, which I spent quite a bit of time on. It was a bit janky. I did actually get the rarest armor in the game. It's some weird blue thing. I'll throw it up in editing. But I download the game. It's one you actually do have to download. And I get to the create account screen. And I put in Rang 97. And that doesn't work, because they have the decency to not allow people to put numbers into their username. And now, I'm stumped once again, but a little bit older, 11 at this time. And now I'm thinking, oh god, I've been using Rang 97 for 4 years, that's almost half my life at this point. What the hell do I call myself now? And well, I like the Rang part a lot, I just need to add something else to the end of it. So as a kid as well, I also liked watching Winnie the Pooh a lot, and I'd be a little bit personal here, but my nickname, like pet name, growing up with my parents was Roo, because there was a kangaroo on Winnie the Pooh called Roo. And so I went, oh, okay. I guess I'll be Rangru. Oh, that works. I put it in, and I start playing Endless Online. Now, for a while, I actually hated this username quite a lot. I thought it was quite dumb and stupid and sounded a little bit childlike. But then, for whatever reason, it just stuck with me. And it's also pretty unique and no one is really going to nick it. So I've been using Rangru ever since. There's two miscellaneous questions I need to answer about this username. The first one being, does the username have anything to do with kangaroos? As many times when growing up on the internet, people would usually just call me kangaroo because Rangru sounds like kangaroo, so it must be something to do with kangaroos, because you sound kind of Australian, don't you, mate? Well, I guess it kind of does actually have something to do with kangaroos, but not in the way that the name Rangru sounds like kangaroo, but the Roo from Rangru is actually Roo from Winnie the Pooh. And secondly, does it have really anything to do with rangers? As rangers is something I've learned from the TV show Summer Heights High. I'll just play the clip.
That it was you who threw his bag over the train line.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
He didn't laugh.
Look, how is it okay for you to bully Ben?
Because he's a ranger.
A what?
A ranger, sir. Because he's got red hair. A orangutan.
Yeah.
That's what we call him.
And does that make it okay for him to be bullied because he has red hair?
Well, people are racist to
To
fubs.
us.
So we could be racist to rangers.
But redheads aren't a race, Jonah.
But sir, there's heaps of them.
And well, the answer is yes, yeah, as well, because even though it wasn't intentional in making a username, I am Yatsu Ginger. I also don't have a soul. Also, as a kid with a pretty crappy computer, I was very much into the Valve genre of shooters. Half-Life 2 Deathmatch, Counter-Strike, Counter-Strike Source, Team Fortress 2, and all of these games had a really cool feature. The spray feature. You see, just kind of like how some modern games like Overwatch, where you could just spray a decal on the wall, you know, these days you have to pay for it. Back in the day, you could just put in any picture you downloaded as a spray and spray out onto any surface in game, which was pretty cool, as there were some rather creative sprays which people made. I've also learned about furry porn at 10, thanks to this feature as well. I also watched a lot of YouTube machinimas as a kid. For those who haven't seen it, Bleat Road is probably one of the greatest machinimas ever made. It's bloody fantastic. Anyway, tangent aside, there's this one I saw called Counterclockwise Strike, and it must be very old now, but I managed to find it. And in that video, it's kind of just like a clip compilations, comedy skit video. There's this one scene, and I'll just play the scene.
So funny.
Yeah, you moved your left a little bit.
What's so f***ing funny? You know, I don't get what the f*** is so funny. You guys are a bunch of assholes. Goodbye, cruel world. Can it get any worse than this?
Counter-terrorists win.
So after seeing that video, which I thought was the pinnacle of comedy back as a kid, I went, I need to get that image. And so I go on FPS Banana, a site which allowed you to download video game skins before you had to pay for them, as well as sprays. I found a new box spray, downloaded it, and started using it in Counter-Strike Source and Team Fortress 2. And I had major success using this spray, as there's really three criteria you could use it for. The first one being at the start of a Team Fortress 2 round, before the gates open and everyone kills each other, you could place the spray on the ground, and then your teammates would kind of fight over, like, jumping into the noob box. So who doesn't want to be in the noob box? Because everyone's just a noob in Team Fortress 2, it's bloody party central. The second is you kill a dude, and instead of having to do the laborious process of teabagging him to assert dominance, you could just spray him with the noob box and be like, hey, your dead corpse is in the noob box, I guess you're just a noob. Finally, you could just spray it on random rules, wait for an enemy to walk by, they look a little bit distracted, and then you just shoot them in the head, because they're like, what the hell is this noob box? And so I just start using this noob box spray as my profile picture, as I couldn't think of anything else more interesting at the time. And I've been using this for well over a decade now, ever since I was a kid. And I really have no plans of ever changing this new box spray. I was actually at a tech conference earlier this year, and the CEO, ex-CEO now, of bloody Bitmoji did just talk about avatar theory. He was kind of all over the place, but he made a very good point how people get very emotionally attached to their online avatars. And their online avatars don't necessarily have to look anything like him, just through the constant use of using some abstract image of yourself, which really captures your personality, you can get very strongly attached to said avatar. So guess I'm strongly attached to a damn noob box of all things. What even is a noob box? My dream job was to be an esports caster, especially as a kid. I loved watching StarCraft 2 and Counter-Strike tournaments. One of my favourite casters of all time was Total Biscuit. Huge influence to his channel. Rest in peace, Mr. Biscuit. But anyway, I really wanted to be an esports caster. My main problem, I didn't really like playing many of the games which were popular, such as League of Legends, or StarCraft, or Counter-Strike. And so I kind of limited my options. One of the first games I did casting for was Natural Selection 2. I was friends with this guy called Titani Pyramid, and on a very early version of Twitch, we would stream live matches of Natural Selection 2 through the spectator mode, and, well, commentate on the game. Eventually I started playing this game called Wargame European Escalation, but I don't really get too heavily invested into it. But a year later, not even a year later, the Wargame Airland Battle demo comes out, and I got a bunch of friends who I knew from PlanetSide 2, and I convinced them to pay for the beta. And we go hard on Airland Battle. We were just playing it constantly. Instantly fell in love with that game. Eventually I realized, oh, I could just do the Natural Selection 2 casting on Twitch, and just do this with Wargame. Heck, I could just play the game. And so I start out my career with the Wargame series, just playing it on Twitch. Just to clarify, I was only 16 years old at this period. I was still very young, but apparently people were okay listening to some very prepubescent English kid who can't say his arse properly. Eventually I decided, oh, okay, I probably should just make a YouTube channel. I figure out all the recording services stuff. I totally did not use pirated software when I first started. I'm very clean now, everything I do actually pay for. And I end up getting my first video uploaded on August 19th, 2013. And well, a lot of the videos were not good at all. I mean, it was 2013, I was using a terrible microphone. I still didn't really figure out how this whole YouTube thing worked. But I just kept trying to grind at it. My idea was, hey, just get out more videos, more popular you'll eventually be. I initially called them all Rangru casts, because I watched this guy called Propaganda Cast, the Company of Heroes caster. And I was like, oh, I'll just copy him, right? That's a good name. And well, here we are now, a decade later, and a lot has changed. I mean, I'm no longer a kid, I'm an adult, I have a career, I've been through school, I've, done a lot of things since I was 16. I'm fucking 26 now. It's kind of weird how fast time flies by. But the channel itself, we have over 2,000 videos, good god, it's a lot of content if you really want to listen to me a whole lot. And we've done a lot on this channel. We've done some very experimental things which worked, such as the Every Unit Summarize, Expectations vs. Reality, the Wildlife of Wargame series, and an experiment which didn't work out well. The Active Aggression Saga was interesting. I've made a lot of very good friends and had opportunities thanks to doing this channel, as I've managed to gain somewhat of a minor e-celebrity status within at least the Wargame community. Heck, sometimes I do get recognized in games outside of Wargames, such as Titanfall 2 or Red Orchestra 2, which has always been pretty cool. And now has been a pretty big pivot from myself, personally, of YouTube, as now I'm no longer just doing Wargame Steel Division content, but I've kind of gotten involved with this Skyrim AI companion mod, which is kind of completely blowing up in regards to its popularity, and is quite revolutionary, I have to say, and somehow I got myself slap bang into the middle of it. So, pretty cool. And the whole hello, hello, hello thing as the introduction to the videos is a stupid catchphrase. I thought, hey, you know, people have like video intros. Having like a catchphrase intro is usually a pretty good way to get remembered. And the whole hello, hello, hello thing came from the fact that British police officers, kind of the meme, was like, oh, you know, they walk up to you, like, hello, 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 what's going on here? And it's quite an intimidating thing, and it just sounds a bit funny. It's quite a British thing, and I try to milk it a bit. And so I just decided to use hello, hello, hello as the introduction to the videos, and by God, really haven't stopped. I don't want to ruffle on too much about this, as I am quite emotional about this. This has been part of my life for a very long period of time. I've put in a lot of work in just getting this YouTube channel going and just trying to become some sort of esports caster. I don't expect myself to be a professional esports caster. I'd have to pick more popular games. Really, just for my bucket list, if I could do a live event at least once, which is semi, you know, popular, I would die quite happy. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. Thank you very much for watching this video, and thank you for watching this channel. And as usual, please just take it easy.